I'm wondering, do we cage ourselves? Look at all of these bars and this. But look at that glorious sun. Sea's looking beautiful. Oh, look, we got some more bars. Bars, bars and more bars. But we do cage ourselves, don't we? We cage ourselves with fear. And if only we can cultivate the love and the trust. And if there is a betrayal of those things, then they need to be addressed. That's what the law system is supposed to be for. Seems to be lots of petty crime that just no one takes any notice, so it carries on. There we go, some more railings. So it's October. Just watched a video on YouTube about Halloween. Wonderful video from Parable of the Vineyard on opening up the book of Baruch and Enoch, which astounding really that those books were removed, not put out in the main Bible. But then there's a lot of books that were removed. Perhaps some of the more enlightening ones too. But anyway, we can still work it out from the teachings of love in particularly the New Testament. That's where I find the understanding there. So I thought I'd share, because Halloween has sort of overtaken the origin of the harvest festival, of which this time of year was, and of course not so many years ago really. All the holidays that are in the term times, would have agricultural reasons, and the harvest time, where everybody would go and help harvest. Of course, so much of agriculture is machinated now with machines doing all the work, and chemicals being sprayed to release seeds, which, does that come through in our food chain? It probably does. Personally, I think that there's a lot of things done in the farming industry now which are not in harmony with God's laws for animal husbandry, for looking after the land and looking after the animals and producing the food that we eat with grace. We have to have grace and appreciation for everything. So I'm going to share with you my poem Seeds. We grow the seeds and scatter the good seeds on the land. And does it really matter from whom we lend a hand? The seeds are free to grow with care, and they are not meant to be laid bare to scientific perfection, only in a monetary direction. A direction that is not good for trees, a direction that maybe even kills bees, a direction that could lead to world hunger. The red, black and pale horses ride with thunder. Sometimes nature knows more how to be. Sometimes nature knows more than our chemistry. I think that poem says it all. God gave us seeds that are eternal, seeds that will reproduce and produce food for all time, and have done for thousands of years. And now we're in a time where money seems to be more important than feeding people and ownership, and that's not God's way. So on this beautiful, glorious, sunny October day, I'd like to give thanks for the harvest and the foods, and I'd like to see a restoration of God's farming methods. I'd like to see more interaction with the land, and this separation between rural and city has just got too far, and the children are suffering by this disconnection. We have to engage with our planet and surroundings and earth energies. It's natural, it's what we thrive on. Disconnecting just is not good for human beings, or animals for that matter. So, may the love of Christ return very soon, and may we make the most of this beautiful, wonderful world. And as I've said before, they have stopped dumping mud here for the time being. So I thank you, God, for answering that prayer. I'm not quite sure what will happen, whether it will be resumed, but there's obviously been a few issues that needed redressing, and they need to reapply for a licence. So let's hope that this outstandingly beautiful area will will not be polluted anymore. Thanks be to God. Have a great day. Bye bye.